Great game, guys. Mamelodi Sundowns versus Stellenbosch FC. Right. Guys, welcome to our coverage of the Betway Premier Soccer League, the South African League. This is our first coverage of the league, and it's also an announcement that we'll be covering most of the top games in the South Africa or the Betway Premier Soccer League in South Africa. This particular game was an exciting game. It was a beautiful game to watch, and I really enjoyed every bit of it. The intensity of the game was up to standard, especially from Mamelodi Sundowns. And also, don't forget, these are two clubs that are all in in various continental games. Talking about the CAF Champions League and the CAF Confederation Cups. Mamelodi Sundowns in the CAF Champions League, and also Stellenbosch in the Confederation Cup as well. And they all got their first wins in the various competitions, and now they are back to the domestic league. And they are, unfortunately for Stellenbosch FC, Mamelodi Sundowns got a win away from their home at Stellenbosch home. Right, guys. As you also know, this is the first win for Mamelodi Sundowns coach Miguel Cardoso since he took on the job as Mamelodi Sundowns coach. His first win was actually in the Champions League, and that was Mamelodi Sundowns' first win since the CAF Champions League started. Miguel was able to win the Champions League, and he was able to win his first PSL game as well. And the question is he really the man? Is he starting to prove that he is the man for the Mamelodi Sundowns job? For me, I think incredible game. If you see how Mamelodi Sundowns played this game, especially in the first half, creating a lot of opportunities or creating a lot of chances, and also, you know, getting into, half spaces, passing the ball very well. And fortunately for them, getting, the first goal, a wonderful goal by Ikram Reyners. And after that goal, he turned to fizzle out of the game. And, but then overall, I think Mamelodi Sundowns played very well, especially in the first half. They took charge of the game. The midfield was solid. The defense was equally very good, and I didn't particularly like the defense of Stellenbosch in the first half, because they made they allowed a couple of mistakes, and that was one of the mistakes that actually got the goal for Mamelodi Sundowns. It was a beautiful goal from Reina, going around, turning around, and lofting the ball into the net with a defender standing right there. He was wrong-footed and he couldn't do anything about it. I also have to, commend Stevens, the Stellenbosch goalkeeper, who really stopped a lot of balls from, going into the net. Else, it would have been many more goals for Mamelodi Sundowns. But also, in the second half, Stellenbosch also came on and was very, very creative, and they were able to also take the game to Mamelodi Sundowns. Unfortunately, they couldn't get any goals. But as I said earlier, it was a beautiful game. It was an amazing game. From both sides. It was end to end, especially in the second half. Getting to the latter part of the second half, you could realize that Mamelodi Sundowns were a little bit tired, but then Stellenbosch had made some substitutions earlier, and so it gave them some fresh legs to get into the game. And they tried really hard to punish Mamelodi Sundowns, but unfortunately, they weren't able to do that. And also, big kudos. The goalkeeper for Mamelodi Sundowns, Onyamba, was also very, very solid in the game. Right, Onyango was, who stood in for Ronwin Williams, who went all the way to Morocco to receive some awards, some CAF awards, and hasn't been able to return yet. Onyango was in post for, Ronwin Williams, and he was spectacular. He made some very, very, breathtaking saves that actually saved Mamelodi Sundowns from, going away or from dropping points in this particular game. Overall, I think it was a great game. It's, you couldn't just, look at, blink an eye, especially in the latter part of the game. Both sides were really, really playing very well, and they all tried to utilize their chances, but unfortunately, the second half didn't come with any goals at all. And you could also realize that Coach Miguel was a little bit more animated, which got him picking up a yellow card in his first game in the PSL right there. And it tells you that he has come for, the job, and he really wants to do the job. He really wants to, employ every possible means to win games. Second win for him, in one in the CAF Champions League and one in the domestic league. Overall, I really saw Sundowns play very good football. I could see the Brazilians in them today, and it was an exciting game. It was a beautiful game, as I keep saying. Lunga was, on point. Lunga did a lot of runs, a lot of beautiful runs. And also, unfortunately, one of their midfielders, Sundowns midfielders, was substituted or got an injury, I think. Alain was injured and had to go out. He was one of their creative forces who was very good on the ball. And as I said earlier on, they really played, but unfortunately they didn't utilize a lot of their chances. Kodisang, brilliant player, getting an assist right there. Obas was also very good in the midfield, holding on to the midfield for Sundowns until the second half, where things were really a bit more, a bit shaky, and but then unfortunately still Stellenbosch couldn't get any goal out of that. Modiba hitting the bar. Oh my God, I thought that was in the back of the net. Unfortunately, it didn't go. Morena, amazing runs up and down for Sundowns. If you look at Ribeiro, he was also very good. He got some, brilliant opportunities that he could have scored. I think 2 or 3. Unfortunately, he couldn't utilize those chances. One of them was, I think, a clear, chance for him to pass to, I don't know who was up there, but he decided to try to curl the ball. Unfortunately, it didn't go into the back of the net. But I think overall, it was a great game. It was a great game. Stellenbosch, on the other hand, did well. Their goalkeeper, Stevens, was so good today, if you ask me. A first-time viewer or a first-time reporter of the South African League. For me, I think he did very well. It was a beautiful game. This game was a good impression. If anybody is watching the South African League for the first time, it really gave us that quality of football, and I really, really loved that. And I felt that, you can correct me if I'm wrong, if you've been following Sundowns for a longer time, because I feel that I've really seen Sundowns play better than the past few games I've watched. I've not really watched a lot of games, but I think that with the past few games that Miguel has been in charge, I think that he has really, brought something new to this Sundowns team. And as I said today, you could really see the quality in the team. They were creating spaces and picking up passes and, transitioning very well, pressing high up and, playing very good football overall. As I said, you can correct me if I'm wrong. This is an engagement, so if you have better knowledge of their past, few games and how they've been performing, you can let us in on this. And as I said earlier on, I've watched both games, or I've seen the games where in the CAF Champions League that Mamelodi Sundowns haven't really been able to actually win any of those games. to the one they won in Miguel, while Miguel was in charge, and today's game. It's really beautiful football. And for me, that is one thing that can lead you to getting good results. When you play good football, the likelihood of you getting a winning result is always higher than when you don't play good football. So for me, I think I was impressed with what I saw today. Renes, after the goal, I think was a little bit hidden in the game. I couldn't really see him much, but Ribeiro and Kodisang were, disturbing, the defense of Stellenbosch. But they were not also able to get any goals right there, as well as Allende. Allende, I was really looking out to see a lot of him because I've heard a lot about him and I've seen him like briefly play, but unfortunately he picked up an injury and he had to go out. Deruk was also, I think, pairing with Koza at the back was a bit calm, was a bit solid. One other thing I also felt was a problem was the grass. It looks, and I could even hear the commentator complain about the grass. It looked a bit thick, so some of the passes were not really going as they were supposed to go. You could see players trying to pick up ball, and the ball was not moving. But aside that, I think it was a great game. It was a beautiful game. My man of the match, I think a lot of the players did very well. If I was to give to the opposition side, trust me, I could say Stevens, who was a man of the match contender. Kodisang, the same thing. Renes, amazing performance. Ribeiro, until he was substituted, great performance. Modiba was also absolutely great. Obas as well. Allende, all of the players did very well. But I think I agree with Lunga being given the official man of the match. He was spectacular today as well. Guys, 1-0 win for Mamelodi Sundowns. And if you look at the table, it gives them some clear points ahead of Orlando Pirates. Though Orlando Pirates have played 8 games, and so they have an outstanding game to play. After that game, we will still see how much points difference Mamelodi Sundowns will be. Will pass Orlando Pirates by. And if you look at Stellenbosch, they are still fourth with 15 points. Orlando Pirates Mamelodi Sundowns first with 24 points. Orlando second with 21 points. Polokwane City with third with 20 points. Guys, I enjoyed today's game and I'll be bringing you a lot more games as well. Pardon me if I make mistakes because this is my, I'm beginning to get hooked up onto the PSL league and learning as I go, and I'm picking up new things as I go. It is really an interesting league, and myself and my my guys will be bringing you a lot more coverage with regards to the PSL as well. So pardon us when we make mistakes. It happens. You can just let us know what our mistake is and we will learn from it and we'll move on. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and let me know what your take on the game, on today's game. Mamelodi Sundowns against Stellenbosch FC was. Let me know what your thoughts on the game was, as well as who your man of the match was as well, and which part of South Africa or which part of Africa or which part of the world you are watching the video from. Leave those in the comment section. Subscribe if you're watching for the first time, and also don't forget to like the video and share with more family and friends. Right, my name is Prince Amdan and I'll be back with more. Peace. I'm out.